Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Moxie Fernape, and this is my battle and team builder for week 6 of season 2 of the CPC D-League. This week, I'm going up against the New York Cosmogs, coached by Phantombass, I think Bass. So, if he has a channel, I'll link that below. I'm not certain if he does, but if he does, I will link that below. So, if you did not see my battle last week, you can check that out. I played Volume and his Arizona Dactyls. That was a cool game. For sure. It worked out pretty well for me. Not going to spoil what happened, but just watch it in case you didn't. It was a fun game. So, I just want to give a special shout out to 4 Mons on my team, being my Tapu Fini, Scizor, Dragalge, and my Mega Houndoom, for being the only 4 Pokemon on my team to have a kill going into this week. After 5 weeks of games, I only have a kill with 4 Mons on my team. They all have multiple kills. I think Dragalge is 3, Scizor has 4, Fini is 10, and Mega Houndoom has 12, I believe. I don't have the doc open right now, but I think that's what it was going into this week. So that's just kind of funny that even my Lando T doesn't have any kills, or Celebi, or any. I mean, it's not shocking that the Mons that have kills. I mean, it's 4 out of my top 6 here. But still, it's just kind of funny that none of my other Mons do. I mean, really, Lando's the only shocking one that doesn't have a kill, but that's just kind of funny. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. So we were playing the, I think I already said the New York Cosmogs, coached by Phantom. He is 2-2 going into this game because he did not play one of his games. I think he was having trouble sketching, so I think he was 2-2 going into this game. This is a conference game, so this could be pretty important in terms of standings and stuff. So if we can win, then we'll be 5-1 and be looking at a pretty good spot. There are 10 weeks in the regular season, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier in the video, but there are 10. And I think the top 4 in that conference out of 8 make the playoffs. So right now we are, I think, the top seed overall in my conference. I think I'm tied with someone else at 4-1. I'm not sure if the doc's updated, but I think someone else was 3-1. I think there were 2 coaches that were 3-1. I'm not sure if they won week 5 or not. I forget. But I'm in first place, at least tied in record. I know no one is undefeated in my conference, and I believe I'm ahead of anyone else with the same record as me in differential. So, going in this week, I'm top place in my conference, which is pretty nice. So if I can get another win here, that would really boost me ahead and keep me going, and that'd be really nice. So, let me just read off his team. So he's got Lando I, which is Sheer Force, by the way, not Sand Force, it's Sheer Force. So Life Orb is scary, and yeah, it's spooky. Tapu Bulu, Mega Ampharos, Blaziken, Empoleon, Selgor, Sneasel, Golbat, Gofagrigus, Bronzong, and Espeon. So this is his team here. This is kind of the order I'm expecting these Mons. This is kind of a weird matchup for both of us, really, because I feel like both of us kind of can bring any of our Mons. None of my Mons and none of his Mons have a terrible matchup. Even Espeon, who I've ranked last, in quotes, I think still has a viable matchup. And then Bronzong, I think still can come. It's a nice set of rocks, and it's pretty nice switching to Fini, but I mean, then it just kind of lets my Houndoom come in. So, I don't know, there are definitely some Mons that are less likely on his end. I really expect the first 3 at least, being the Lando, Bulu, and the Mega Ampharos. I really expect those 3. Outside of that, I'm really not sure what to expect. Because, I mean, Blaziken I think will come, but still, just everything else kind of iffy, and I don't know, and he's mixed up his Mons pretty well, in terms of what he's brought. I believe he took over for someone else, so he did not get to draft his team. He made a couple transactions to help him out, so that's why, that's part of the reason why he hasn't brought all the same Mons for that's why he has not brought a lot of the same Mons in a lot of weeks. But let me just get into my team. So I'm bringing Tapu Fini here, Rindabear, Moonblast, Nature's Madness, Taunt, and Ice Beam. So Taunt and Madness is really nice. That allows me to stop Empoleon from getting up rocks, or defaulting stop Bronzong from getting up rocks. I can weaken them down, which otherwise I can't really hit either of them super hard. Moonblast and Ice Beam don't do much to either of them, but I can weaken them down, which is nice. Ice Beam allows me to hit the Golbat for some pretty decent damage, as well as Bulu. I could carry him Power Poison, I guess, but Ice Beam just better overall, allows me to hit Bulu, Golbat, and the Lando as well. Yeah, that do more than a Surf would. And then I guess also Ampharos, but I mean not Moonblast. But that's a pretty safe play. I mean, Moonblast is still pretty safe versus him. But maybe if I'm predicting him to maybe go into Golbat. But yeah, then Moonblast pretty much hits everything else that it did not specify. The speed is to outspeed max speed Adamant Bulu. I'm not really sure what he's going to be doing with the speed for Bulu, if I'm being honest. Because he could creep a max speed Jolly Scizor, which is the next thing on my team. So that's possible for him to do. In which case he would have to be Jolly, so he would outspeed me. But I don't know if I don't think he'll really do that. Like, I don't really have any reason to run max speed Jolly Scizor, so I don't think he'll creep that. He might just go max speed Jolly, maybe max speed Adamant Bulu. I'm not sure. So if he's Adamant, I can outspeed that. But the bulk is so I can live a Wood Hammer from Bulu, from Adamant Bulu after I take rocks, and he could be Scarfed. I think that's pretty. I think that's pretty likely. Or I mean, fairly likely. It is his Z user as well as that is his Super Z user, and Espeon is his offensive Z user. So you know he definitely might just run a Z Crystal like a Bug Indian Z at my Celebi, but still I could see Scarf as Scarf Wood Hammer is pretty scary. I mean versus my roster, I definitely have a fair amount of like grass checks like Dragalge, Celebi, Scizor, and Houndoom. But with what I'm bringing this week, I really don't have a good grass switching. I mean I'm only bringing Houndoom. So it's a little spooky versus my team, which is why I'm running the Rando and Feeny set. Nothing in my team is like really forced out by Bulu. If you Scarf Bulu, that'll be scary, and then it'll force out more things. But still, this is just made, so I'm not scared out, and I don't have to switch into something like my Lando, which Lando is sort of my switch in. It's pretty bulky, but it's still not a great switch into Bulu. Then the rest in, I just hit as hard as I can with Phantombass and Ice Beam. So next we got my Zed Strike Up. First time I'm bringing this big boy here. It's not very big, but Volt Switch, Pair Ice, Thunderbolt, and me first. So pretty interesting tech there in that last move. The first three moves, I mean, you can figure out on your own. Pair Ice, just good coverage for Lando, Ampharos, etc. The two stab moves here, Volt Switch, nice to pivot. T-Bolt gives me a little more power. Focus Sash is nice because it allows me to take any one hit from anything, and this will be my lead, guaranteed. Alright, so I'm back. I had a little interruption there, but me first is mainly designed for Mega Ampharos, as I was sort of getting to. So if he wants to click Dragon Balls versus me, which I think is pretty likely, because if he clicks Volt Switch or anything else, I mean maybe Pair Ice, which still I can get off decent damage. But if he clicks like Focus Blast and Pair Ice versus me, I can take that and do decent damage to him with a me first, which is 1.5 power. And now I mean I'm still not hitting very hard because naturally it's not a very strong Zebra, but still. If he's clicking Dragon Balls, which he probably is versus this, as you know he can't hit me with like a Volt Switch or anything. So Dragon Balls will be doing a good chunk to him, enough speed for a Sneasel, which is pretty much max for me. Next we got my Hariyama Assault Vest, Knockoff, Bullet Punch, Ice Punch, Close Combat. This is just good coverage versus his team. Close Combat's just pretty good for a lot of things. Knockoff is nice to allow me to knock off the Golbat's Eviolite, as well as knock off anything else's item, like any scarves would be nice to knock off, like maybe Lando Scarfed, and maybe Blaziken Scarf, maybe Bulu Scarfed. I mean, really, a lot of his offensive mons are like really scary, at least to the team that I'm bringing, if they're Scarfed, but he can't bring Scarfed everything because he can't lock himself into too many moves super freely. But it'll make them scary because I'm not outspeed my fast mons, which I'm bringing pretty much all the speed I have this game. Like Hariyama's like an only slow mon skin. I mean, yeah, except for Celebi, I'm bringing pretty much all the speed I have. So, you know, and I'm not bringing any Scarfers this week, which is a little scary. But so any Scarfers on that he might want to bring will be pretty scary to this team. But he can't bring everything Scarfed. Well, thinking he's still going to need to mix up his moves. So he can't be locked into everything either way. But knockoff is just nice to knock off like mainly Scarfs and other items to allow me to outspeed mons that were Scarfed. And then Bullet Punch is nice for Sneasel, Bulu, maybe Lando if I need to. Ice Punch allows me to hit Lando. This is a pretty good check to Lando. That's what this is made for. Ispadef is, I think, so I can take 2 Life Orb Earth Powers from Lando. Possibly after Rocks. I think after Rocks. From a Life Orb Sheer Force to Lando's Eye. So that's pretty nice. The speed is for no speed and Empoleon, I think. It's at 60, right? Yeah. No speed and Empoleon. So that's nice. Next we got my Miss Magus. Second time I'm bringing this. First time I'm bringing a Z Crystal on it, as it is my offensive Z user. So Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Thunderbolt, and Nasty Plot with the Ghostium Z. So his switch-ins are very limited. His switch-in is Sneasel, which is, you know, not the best switch-in as I mean, it could carry coverage. I mean, I do have Dazzling Gleam at that thing, which is pretty nice. I could potentially carry a Colbur, but I do like the additional power from the Ghostium Z. As Shadow Ball can do a lot, or Never-Ending Nightmare can do a lot too, like Mega Ampharos to Golbat, let me break through them. I mean, I do have Thunderbolt for Golbat, but that, I mean, that's if I don't need to use my Z Crystal, or if I already used it, then I can hit Empoleon or Golbat with Thunderbolt. Then Dazzling Gleam is nice for the Sneasel, as well as the Mega Ampharos if I have already used my Never-Ending Nightmare. Now, Sneasel could trap me potentially, but I don't think he's going to have the room. Because, like, in terms of what moves he's going to need to carry, I think he'll need to carry Knockoff, maybe Ice Cold Crash, maybe Ice Shard, I think some type of Ice Stab at Lando, I think Low Kick for Houndoom, I think Poison Jab for Feeny, maybe even Aerial Ace for Hariyama, and then Pursuit, like as a potential 6th move, but I mean, he can't run 6 moves. But, like, even then, I don't think he'll be able to run that, so I don't think he'll be able to trap me, so I should be able to switch versus Sneasel, but even if he does trap me and is able to knock me out, then that is okay, because I can still bring in Houndoom for free, or bring in Hariyama if I want to, as well, so, you know, even if he can trap me, that's a little annoying, but I don't think he's going to be able to run the move slots to be able to do so, but, nah, I mean, we'll see if that scenario comes. So next, we got my Mega Houndoom, Flamethrower, Dark Pulse, Hidden Power, Ice, and Nasty Plot. So, also the speed on this Magus is first Lando Eye, and then max speed on Houndoom to speed tie Sneasel. So, dual stab hits everything, barring, I mean, it pretty much hits everything. Just Hidden Power, Ice hits Lander's Eye, and then I think it hits Mega Ampharos for, like, just barely harder than Dark Pulse. The Nasty Plot allows me to boost versus things like Golbat, like Mega Ampharos, so at least on the Switch. I can't really take it from Mega Ampharos super well. But this is pretty nice. I mean, really, these three, like the fast offensive mons, can work together to weaken down mons like the Mega Ampharos, like Golbat, and then they work together to, like, one or two of them can weaken down his fatter stuff and his bulkier stuff, and then the other one or two can come on in and be a big threat once I get some damage on those mons. So they work really nicely in a, I guess, trio. So just these 3 special attackers, Zebstrike, Miss Magus, and Mega Houndoom work really nicely this game. Then we got my Landers to Yacht Berry with Stealth Rock, Sludge Wave, Earthquake, and Knockoff. So the defense is so I can take, I think, two Wood Hammers from an Adamant Bulu, I think. Maybe it's 2 from a Jolly Bulu after I take rocks or something. Something like that, I believe. If he's adamant and non-boosting items, so either Sea Crystal or Scarf. The speed is so I can outspeed max speed Adamant Bulu. Again, I'm not really sure what he's going to be doing with his speed, but I'm saying speed set that Phoeny's hitting, so once one of them either will or will not outspeed Bulu, I will know. But I'll know if the other one will, so that's really nice. And then Sludge Wave is really nice to hit the Bulu. I think if he's running like no bulk, I think it has a pretty good chance to oak him. I think about 50%, so that's really nice. Knockoff allows me to knock off items of things like Golbat, and I mean, he can maybe set up Omni with his Lando Eye if it is Rock Polish, which is possible, but I can still knock off his Life Orb, and still maybe knock off his Scarf if he's Scarf, and then that allows my, like, if I knock off the Life Orb, then I can probably live a hit with something like maybe Feeny, maybe Hariyama if I need to, and that's just really nice. Or if he's Scarf, I can knock that off, that allows my Houndoom Godspeed, or I mean, yeah, any of my 3 fast offensive mons, so, you know, it's just really nice to have knockoff on these 2. But yeah, the team, it's pretty nice, I think. It's got some speed, it's got some power, then it's got some bulky offense with Lando, Hariyama, and Athene. So we'll see how that works out, and we will get into the battle in just a second. Alright, so I am back with the battle. So I am bringing the top of Phoenix, Zebstrike, Hariyama, Miss Magus, Mega Houndoom, and Lando team, which I just went over in the team builder, so check that out. If you didn't, but maybe you just skipped to the battle, I don't know, it's okay. So, my opponent is bringing Sneasel, Lando Eye, Sheer Force, Golbat, Empoleon, Blaziken, and Tapu Bulu. So, I got most of the mons right. I got 4 out of the 6 in terms of the 6 I predicted, but I still thought anything could come, and he opted not to bring the Mega Ampharos, actually, which kind of shocked me. I thought he'd bring it. It was a pretty nice check to, like, Mega Houndoom, and he didn't really have too much to switch into that, but he does bring the Golbat. That's probably a switch in. As it is pretty bulky, but I can hopefully knock off the Eviolite that it's most likely holding. And then Sneasel is a little annoying to my team, especially because it can trap my Miss Magius. But I don't think it's going to have the coverage to run Pursuit. But I guess we'll find out if that scenario comes. He also opts to not bring the Cellbar, which I thought he might, but that's okay, because then, like, no spikes, and then my Zebstrike has a safer lead. So I'm just going to lead for my Zebstrike, as I said. It is Focus Sash, so I can take any one hit. He does lead with Golbat, so I do just click Volt Switch. I know he can get right into Lando, but even if he does, I can click Empower Ice the following turn. I don't know if he's Scarfed or not, but I am Sash, so I can still take any one hit from the Lando in case he does want to go into that. But I didn't think he would, because I could have clicked the Empire Ice right here. because like it wasn't a bad play versus Golbat, and like he could have also gone to this, which he did. So him by Rise would have been a very fine play to make. So I didn't think he'd go right into Lando, so I just went right for the Volt Switch, as he does not go into Lando. So that works out for me. I do a decent chunk, which shows that he has no bulk, I believe. So we get some intel on his set. So he could be Scarf, so I did not want to go right into my Houndoom and then just get plopped by a superpower. So I just go right into my Lando, which can take should be able to take 2 hits unless he's banded, but even then I can still take any one. So I'm just going to set up my Rock here. I do have Sludge Wave, but I don't want to show that just yet. He might try to scout for it, or even then, like, he probably would think that I'll bring this in for a reason. So I might try to go right into Golbat, as he does go right into Golbat. So this thing might be able to get rid of the rocks if it has default. So I go for knockoff here to stay in, as he goes for the Super Fang. So that's a little annoying. I'm pretty weakened, so I'm not really good switching to Bulu at this point, but it did get off some trip on Bulu. It's not super bulky, so I don't need to get off too much damage. Like, it's not going to be super hard to weaken it, but it might be a little bit annoying, especially if it is Scarf at this point. But I do have Rock Slip, which is nice, and then I did knock off this thing's item. So this thing is not as bulky anymore, so my Houndoom can be more threatening to this, as well as really all my Pokemon on my team can just be more offensively threatening to this Golbat, which is really nice. So good job, Lando, knocking off the item. Here, I go right into my Miss Magus, breaking another Super Fang. So he goes for, yeah, he just pivots out with that, which is, a little annoying, but hopefully fine. So he goes right into Sneasel, so he might trap me if he has the Pursuit. So I just switch, as I have to try to switch, and he does not have Pursuit. I'm assuming if he did, I would think he would go for it there, but he just goes right for knockoff, so it shows me he probably does not have Pursuit. So we see that's not Life Orb, and the damage shows that it looks like he's Jolly Scarf, so Scarf does make sense. Really, any of his offensive mons can be Scarf, really, from Sneasel, Lando, Blaziken, or Bulu. Any of those 4 could be Scarf, possibly 2 of them. I don't think any more than 2, but I could be wrong. So it looks like he's Scarf, but I'm not certain. That could be Evilt, potentially, or maybe Sash, or Eviolite too, I guess. So I just go right for a Flamethrower. Pretty safe, even if it goes in Blaziken, it still will take some damage, and I can scout his head a bit, as he does go right into Blaziken. So I cannot kill him with another hit, so I'm just going to switch out. I do not have Hint Power, Water, or Ground, or anything. And he could be Scarf too, so I'm just going to go right in my Feeny. And even if it does click Thunder Punch, I can live too, but I don't think he will. I think he'll have to go for a Fighting Move here, as he does go for... No, he actually just doubles into Empoleon. I think predicting Feeny, which, I mean, makes sense. That was a pretty good play on his part. But this is totally fine for me. So I'm just going to taunt him, stop him from getting at rocks, as he actually tries to defog, so that's fine. So my rocks will stay up on the field. As I just go right for a Nature's Madness, as he goes into Bulu. So I go for Nature's Madness, do a decent chunk. It should be in range for Ice Beam to kill. So he goes for Wood Hammer, outspeeds me, but I do live thanks to my Rindo, and then Ice Beam's going to be easily be able to knock him out after the damage from Wood Hammer. So that's really nice for me. So the damage showed that he could have been Adamant and got a low roll, or been Jolly and got a kind of high roll. So he could have been Adamant, Scarf, or just Jolly. I guess Scarf, but he did not have reason to be Jolly, because he still outsped every mon on the team if he was Scarf. If he wasn't Jolly, but was still Scarf. So he could have been Adamant, Scarf pretty freely. So I thought, yeah, he's either Adamant, Scarf, or Jolly, Z Crystal, or probably Z Crystal if he's not Scarf. And after the match I saw his team, he was Z Crystal. So he was not Scarf. So good to know, he's Jolly Z Crystal. So good to know. I think Bug and EMZ, but I forget. I could look back at the team now, but I'm lazy. So he just brings in Lando. I'm thinking he's just going to knock me out with Earth Power or Sludge Wave, so I'm just going to sack off Feeny. I could go into Hariyama, but I don't think it's really worth it, because I don't want damage on this, and I can just sack off Feeny. It's not doing it's not doing much else in this game. Like, it can get damage on Napoleon, but it just kind of drops to Sneasel because it's so low. A Blaziken can also check it, and it's not super good at this point. So I just sack it off, as he actually just sets up rocks with his Lando, which I think was kind of a misplay. He did have Sludge Wave, which could have knocked me out, and I think Earth Power could have too. But I'm able to knock him out with the Ice Beam, so I mean, I'll take that though. So we're up 6-4. Rocks are up on both sides of the field, but honestly, like, I think it was better for him to just kill my Feeny there and not lose his Lando, because like rocks are helpful for my Houndoom, and they get 12% on everything barring Hariyama, but still, I think just keeping his Lando alive and knocking out my Feeny could have been helpful. But I mean, he probably has. There's probably some reason why he clicked rocks. So probably like, I mean, they're still nice to chip down my team. So it wasn't like a terrible play, but I don't know. So he brings in Empoleon, as I just click Madness here. It's no reason to taunt if he wants to default. That's totally fine. He gets rid of the rocks that he just set up. Then he just sacrifices Lando to set up something like he will, and even if he does, that's fine for me. So I still have my rocker alive too, so that's okay if he wants to default. So there's no point in taunting. So I just Madness to a solid half. He goes for Surf, does a chunk. As I go for another Madness, it's going to be more than Moonblast anyway, so might as well. As he goes for Surf, and actually gets a crit and knocks me out, which is a little unfortunate. Based on the last Surf, I'm looking at the last Surf, I don't know why. Oh, he's in Torrent range, that's why. Okay, I was questioning now, like, why that killed. The last Surf did 14, so crit should do 21, but then Torrent, so... he did end up killing me with a crit there. I would have lived if he did not crit me, so... I could have gotten off another Madness. I don't think a Moonblast would have killed, so... It wasn't the biggest deal in the world. I might have, like, switched out into Zeb Striker or something and took more damage, but... it wasn't the biggest deal in the world, and it wasn't terrible for me, so I just bring in my Zeb Striker for free. The rocks do break my sash, which is annoying, but I just click Volt Switch. Orlando's not here, so freest Volt Switch of my life. I know it kills Empoleon. Looks like he's max def. Although I don't know if I can off any damage, but I don't think so. Although he wasn't lefty, so he could have been Wakan, I suppose, but I was thinking he'd be Shuko from Orlando, as he was actually Shuko, which we didn't see, but after the game I saw in his team he was Shuko. So I could have killed it with a Volt Switch anyways, unless if he... Yeah, even if it was max def, I could have killed it with a Volt Switch, which is why I did not click T-Volt there. Volt Switch was fine, so just wanted to clarify that. So I bring in Hariyama, as it's my safest play. It covers the Blaziken play or the Sneasel play here. I know Golbat's going to come in, but I can force it to come in, and it'll take rocks and be at around half health. Now it'll probably roost the following turn, but I can bring in my Zed Striker on that roost, so or really any attack. So honestly, this is fine for me if he wants to just roost here, as I can just get off 8 T-Bolt the following turn, as he does just roost, as I do T-Bolt, and we do solid half, so be at this turn, then he pivots out. So that was a good play on his end. So I'm pretty weakened now, as he does bring in Sneasel, which I assume the Scarf, I am creeping this. I'm not like creeping a creep of his, I'm just going pretty much max speed to creep max speed Jolly Sneasel, so if he's not Scarfed, I will outspeed him. If he is Scarfed, I will get the knowledge here. He is Scarfed, he knocks me out, that's fine. I can bring in my Houndoom for free, bring in Houndoom. It's a free switch, and so I can just click Flamethrower here. Blaziken does come in. He does, I think it was a roll, I'm not sure whose favor it was in to kill, or not to kill, but he does live. So he could have been Scarfed here, so I'm just going to scout and just make the safe play, bring in my Lando, as I want to keep Houndoom alive, as I can still pressure the Golbat, and I can, if Sneasel is locked in a knockoff, I believe I can take another knockoff after I take rocks with Houndoom again, so it makes sense to keep Houndoom alive for Sneasel and Golbat, so I'm just going to scout for Scarf, make the safe play. We haven't seen anything yet from Blaziken, so turns out it actually was Life Orb, which we don't see, because he dies to Flare Blitz Recoil, not Life Orb, but it knocks out my Lando, which I could have maybe kept around, but I still think that was a safe play. That was fine to make. So I bring in this as, this is a 50-50. If he brings in Sneasel, then I just switch out in my Hariyama, and, yeah, I would switch out into Hariyama, and I'll be able to live a knockoff, and then just, click a knockoff myself, I can knock off, I could knock out this Sneasel with a Bullet Punch after he decks rocks, or if you wanted to switch there into Golbat, he would die to a knockoff, so, I just brought in this, because if you want to Sneasel, it's fine. So, he does bring in the Golbat on the double downs. I just go for the Never-Ending Nightmare to knock him out. Kind of overkill, but I wanted to go for it, because why not, you know? I could have gone for T-Bolt, but I wanted to show off the Z move, so, yeah. So, I bring in Hariyama to keep my differential as high as possible, because I know I can live in one hit, and I can actually out-prioritize him with a Bullet Punch. So, I'm just going to do that, knock him out, and we do take this game home in a 3-0 victory. So, GG to Phantombass. I'm assuming Bass. I don't think it's Bass. I think it's Bass. But GG, man. So I am now 5-1. So we are looking pretty good. We've won 3 in a row now, and we're I think plus 17. So that's really nice. Looking good. I'm really liking the team. It's a lot of fun. Mega Team actually did not pick up any kills this week, so that was kind of sad. It almost did. It almost killed Blaziken. He was Life Orb, so I could have actually just killed him. But you know, actually, wait. I think I might have been. I don't know if Loki killed me from that range, I forget from the calc, but if I could live with Loki from that range, I could have actually just won at that point with Houndoom, so I could have maybe won it with a 4-0, but I don't know if Houndoom lived with Loki, I don't remember. I believe he had Loki, so, you know, either way, GG. We are playing Turbo Blaze next week in his Phoenix Midnights. I'm not sure of his record, but, he's someone that I've played in the Major PL twice, and in the, I played him in the PCL one. So I've played him a few times in Draft League format. I'm 2-1 overall versus him, so I'm hoping to not let him even up that series. Hopefully I can beat him next week. But yeah, that'll go up next Tuesday, and I will see you guys with the upload then. So see you guys then. Peace out.